Hello and welcome to News Centre. I'm Parikshit Luthra. At least 27 people have died and many more feared injured after a stampede at a religious event in Hathras in UP. According to local media reports, thousands of people were gathered for a satsang, and as the event concluded, a stampede took place. Reports also suggest that the death toll could increase. The chief medical officer of the district confirmed that 27 dead bodies have been brought to hospital for a post-mortem.
अभी हमारे पोस्टमार्टम हाउस में जहां मैं खड़ा हूं वहां पे 27 सब आ चुके हैं, जिसमें दो मेल हैं और 25 फीमेल हैं।
कुल सब कितने आ चुके हैं?
27
और कुछ घायल भी आए हुए हैं।
घायल भी हैं।
सर क्या हादसा हुआ है?
अभी इस बारे में डिटेल जानकारी नहीं है, ये सब अभी आते जा रहे हैं। और अब जो तो
सत्संग के दौरान
हाँ ये सुना है सर, सत्संग में भगदड़ के दौरान हुआ।
All right, definitely a very sad story coming out of Hathras in Uttar Pradesh. Yogi Adityanath, the Chief Minister of UP, has already asked all teams to reach that area as soon as possible. A high-level inquiry will also take place. We are learning from the UP Chief Minister's office that he has expressed condolences to the bereaved families of those who died in the accident in Hathras. He's also wishing for the speedy recovery of those who are injured. District officials have been asked to ensure proper treatment of those injured and reach the spot immediately as well. Instructions have also been given to the Additional Director General of Police for Agra and the Commissioner for Aligarh to look into the causes of the incident. Remember, this was a religious gathering taking place in Hathras where suddenly a stampede broke out and 27 people have been reported dead. Yes, we are getting to know that more people have been injured. They are recovering in hospital. You're getting those pictures right now. We're not showing you any of the disturbing pictures, but things have been quite bad on the ground. We're also getting to know from official sources that a team consisting of ADG Agra and Aligarh Commissioner has been constituted to inquire into the cause of the incident. So this is a routine inquiry that has been ordered. A sad state of affairs. These religious events have been happening in Uttar Pradesh and across the country for many years now, and clearly there should be a proper SOP in place. Was there any kind of violation of guidelines? Was there a higher crowd than expected? These are some of the questions that will have to be answered. Let me go across to former DGP of Uttar Pradesh, Vikram Singh. Mr. Singh, thank you very much for joining us. Very, very tragic incident happening in Hathras. From your experience, what do you think are some of the possible reasons? Yes, the exact reason will only be ascertained by the inquiry, but do you think there are certain aspects which need to be looked at immediately?
Most certainly. I would say an avoidable tragedy at that. When you have a collection of more than 15,000 people there, you should have proper exit and entry accesses so that there is no stampede. And on predictable nights, if the stampede did happen, then the women and the children were the first victims, and out of 27 dead bodies that were brought, 25 were that of women. And to top it all, a religious congregation, I do hope the permissions were taken. And if the permissions were taken, was there a police deployment? If there was a police deployment, then was there a facility for first aid and access to the hospital? I very much doubt if the SOPs were in position. What do you have something like this, then permission under section 144 has to be taken. Then also the public interest system. And also, in a worst case scenario, the firefighting equipment, the ambulance and the hospital access should always be available. And I would not like to believe that what I'm being told or what I believe, that in spite of this horrific accident, the medical facilities were rather late and were not available. This needs to have been ensured. And I do hope if the permission was not taken, then this Babaji needs to be taken to task for organizing a satsang without due permission and precautions.
Right. Mr. Singh, we'd also like to ask you, when you're having a congregation of this kind, who are the officials on the ground from the civic administration and the police who would be immediately accountable?
The local SO, the police officers, both in uniform and in plain clothes, the Mahila constables, the lady police contingent, as also the fire contingent. They would also organize that they will have a subdivisional magistrate also for crowd control and management. Then somebody from the medical and health department to ensure proper sanitation, drinking water supply. And if there is a medical emergency, as it did happen in this case, well, there should have been access and a green corridor to take the injured to the hospital and also to give first aid on the spot itself. But I very much doubt if anything was there, because it was some kind of a free-for-all, because nothing like that was obvious. And in the melee and in the hurry to get out, the short exit routes were overcrowded and the stampede happened, and the most elderly and the women and the weakest were deprived.
Right. So clearly the event took place without proper planning, and the crowds were higher than usual, and the authorities could not control what happened on the ground. Thank you very much, Mr. Singh, for joining us. Definitely a very tragic story, and we'll keep getting our viewers more updates on that. Moving on to our focus here on news.